Good afternoon, guys. So today is 16th of June and we will have to cover the current affairs of today. So the first news is related to the application of the UAPA with regard to the terrorist activities and the things or the persons who have been charged by the government of India under UAPA in connection with the Citizenship Amendment Act, on which the charges of terrorist activities or being a terrorist has been slapped. Now, in regarding to that, the Supreme Court have made it clear that with regard to the interpretation of the terrorism activity, there are only three things that are needed to be understood. The first one is that every criminal act is not terrorist act, and every terrorist act is not every terrorist act is amounting to be criminal act, but every criminal act can't be amounting to the terrorism act. The definition of the terrorism is slightly does not or will not only amount to causing disturbance of law and order. Law and order is a criminal act that you can basically charge upon, but it will not amount to the terrorist act. Other than that, if there is a charge that is needed to be placed with respect to the terrorist activity, it can only be ensured or can only be implemented or raised if there is a profound impact on the defense of India. So that has been the three cases that we are generally have been talking about. Now, with regard to the other issues, the terrorist activities, the government of India have said that they will appeal this particular provision in the Supreme Court of India, but I think already the Delhi High Court have made it clear that you cannot slap just about UAPA against anybody and term them as terrorist. And the definition of the terrorist that you have basically applied to the terrorist activities or likely to do terrorist activities, that is not the definition that we basically have gotten independence, or neither it is allowed by the Constitution to have such vague definitions. Now, there is a distinctions that are needed to be provided between the definition of the terrorist activities and also the criminal acts and the heinous criminal offenses that are needed to be implemented. So, I hope this is clear. The next news is related to the invisible tax. So again, the inflation is high. I hope you remember the things that are concerning with regard to the inflation. If we talk about the inflation, it have risen with regard to the wholesale price inflation at about 12%. Maybe because of the smaller base of the last year, but still it is higher what it should be. The second one is with regard to the runaway fuel prices that have been on the increasing side. The fuel and the light inflation is also been increasing at 11.6%. Other than that, the RBI, if you remember in the last MPC policy committee, that is the monetary policy committee in which the interest rates are generally fixed, they have claimed that there is some elbow room and they have been having an accommodative stance with regard to the expansion of the economy. If there is a cutting down of the prices with regard to the interest rate, definitely it will boost the economy because there will be more credit and liquidity that will be available in the market. But as the inflation has been rising, so there is a possibility that the Reserve Bank of India will be hesitant to basically cut down the interest rate much or anytime sooner. So that will be a type of a drawback that we have to see, because now the government have to rope in the resources that they already have, and from the monetary policy has nothing going to be spending. So we have to look out for the fiscal policy and the spending regarding that. So I hope this is clear. There have been issues with regard to the petroleum because petroleum products are still not under the GST, and there is a possibility and advice by the Reserve Bank of India that an alternative mechanism so that a consensus with regard to the inclusion of the petroleum product in the GST would reduce the taxes or provide an equitable distribution or lessen the burden on the individual could be there. So that has been the other alternative that has been suggested, but I don't think any government is anytime likely going to be sooner in the time of the COVID, where the vaccines and the other infrastructure or health infrastructure investment is needed, is definitely going to lose out on the cash cow that the excise duties from the petroleum is generally providing them. So I hope this is clear. The next one is the America mistake in the forever war. So what are three mistakes that they have committed? I hope you remember what could have happened in Afghanistan and what could not have happened. That is the only discussion of this article. Now, please remember the current situation is that the military have said that they are ready to basically exit from the state of Afghanistan 2 months before the September deadline. And there is a possibility that in that there is a shift of a balance of power that will happen from the American forces or the Afghan government to directly to the Taliban. As of now, if we talk about the situation of Afghanistan, there is approximately 22% of the total area that they have covered among all the districts, and 24% has been covered by the government. Now, if you remember, there have been various negotiations with regard to the forever war that has been going, but this article goes into the understanding or the mistakes that US have committed, but it is going to commit. Now, the first mistake that it has committed is the mistake on the history, in which if you have seen the past record with regard to the experience of the British, that is of Britain, when they waged a war in Afghanistan against a possible incursion of Russia that may happen anytime sooner. So they removed Dost Ali Muhammad from the state of Afghanistan, and that was called as Auckland Folly, for the Afghanistan war, and therefore he had to resign as the Governor General of India. Other than that, in 1979, there have been inclusion or interference of the Russian troop to basically promote it as a communist regime. But at that particular time, there was another organization called as Mujahideen that has been created. And this Mujahideen basically was to control, if you cannot have a direct interference with the British policy, you should create an alternative mechanism that could provide the way. Now, other than that, if we talk about the USA himself did not learn from the history, and it invested into the graveyards of the empire, where much of the bigger empire have fallen, and so has been the last 20 years for for the American people or the American government. The second one is the strategic failure. Maybe it was the initial bonhomie or the initial confidence that the American enjoys, and they did not stick to the policy in which they would basically they had one references to Al Qaeda, and they could have come into Al Qaeda, they could have destroyed their leaders, buried the infrastructure, and would have returned back, leaving the political and the other administrative machinery to repair by itself by the people of the Afghanistan itself. But what USA have done, that they will liberate the democracy and provide the rights of freedom over there, and in that they tried escalating the things with regard to the Taliban, and in that they have also been played by the Pakistan, in which Pakistan played a double game. On one hand, they supported the claim of the USA in Afghanistan, and on another hand, they have supported the Taliban so that India could be remain in check, and India could be kept in check for centuries now. Now, with regard to that, when we need to see Afghanistan today, there was a situation in which there was a surrender that has been basically offered by the Talibani authorities in the initial year, but then it was not accepted, and the US have basically denied that any form of any form of deal will only amount to surrender, and they will completely vanish the Taliban at that particular time. Now, this time it is termed as a surrender because now the Taliban have gained prominence, and the ground realities to the United States of America were already clear, because much of the Taliban have accompanied its cadre from the people who belong to the Pashtun lineage, and this Pashtun lineage you could outset them from the power, but you could not basically completely remove the total influence of the Afghani people or the Pashtun people or the Taliban people. Now that has been another mistake. Now right now what is happening, as they will be going upon, there will be a complete shift of power with regard to the power balance in the form of Taliban. For months now there have been stalemate that has been caused, but as they will be making spaces, so there is an increasing concern that the Taliban will increase its influence on the political and the other area that it already had occupied, and that will put Afghanistan again where it was in 2000, in which the Taliban have been controlling and maintaining much of the influence. And then there is Pakistan or the pressure, other things that could be basically prevented and stopped from happening. So these are the other part that need discussion. The next one is the inequitable with no good, but the bad and the ugly. So what is this? I hope you remember there is a person called as Tarun Tekpal. He has been given a type of a bail by the court, in which it has been a failure that has been, or the investigation that have basically raised various questions with regard to how the investigation was conducted and what were the features of it. So Mr. R.K., which is basically a IPS senior IPS officer in Chhattisgarh, he expressed his view with regard to the things that are available to the women. Now he says that right now for the criminal investigation system, for criminal justice, there is an investigation that is needed to be scientific, appropriate, extensive and timely. Now in that the department or the police department have failed. They need to ramp up the investigation skill, the application of the law, and also the concerns that are regarding to a particular case. Now, when we talk about Evidence Act 2000, there is a law commission that is there, and there are amended two things in which there have been various issues or things that are being created. So first of all, the Evidence Act 2002 provided two amendments that you can't question the general character of the person who is in question. The second one, any witness can also not be asked or also not be basically forced to question the general moral character of the person who have basically filed a case. Now, even sexual relations, if they are consented at first, that does not give the right to particular individual to sexually abuse the same individual on the pretext that he earlier had sexual relation with that particular woman. Now, what is the purpose? Basically, the first purpose is to get the truth out and not humiliate the woman. So you do not raise any question with regard to the sexual relations that she have. They must not be questioned on the way in which she was perpetrated, because law does not permit character assassination. It permit basically what you can extract out of an individual and what you can say out for the individual. The second one is the individual behavior. You should, generally it is done by the investigation agencies and the other people also. If there is a statement mismatch with regard to the things, then they generally says that the behavior was unnatural. There was no other person to basically see the behavior that she was reacting to, and in that circumstances she may act natural or unnatural depending on the other things, and she couldn't be supposed to be traumatized all the times as the people will observe or the people will say. The third one is the every omission is not a contradiction. So there is a conflicting report among the amount of the centralization and the things that are generally happening around it. Now basically these particular questions are asked to shake the credibility of the individual person, and if there are conflicting reports, they are being questioned that this is a type of a false lies that she is currently maintaining. Now in that there have been prohibition, and it has been said that the different version of the graphic detail should not amount to any form of untrustworthiness of the individual, because it may happen from person to person, or maybe the person is not basically able to recall all the things that have happened with her regarding the things to sexual assault, because she may have a fuzzy memory, she may have a certain issue, or she may have certain other things that are needed to be understood. So that has been the case. Okay, उसको ध्यान रखिएगा. Next one is the electoral bond. So you will read this on your own. Again, the same issue: transparency, opaqueness, and the case that has been filed. And finally, the judgment of the Supreme Court, in which judgment Supreme Court have suggested that match the following on political donation is impractical and incorrect. That you cannot say that which party basically have given which other or have received donation from which other corporate. So that is a match of a following. That is not correct. But right now, as you see, there have been various lapses with respect to the electoral bonds, and they are needed to be filled up. First of all, lapse has been the foreign contribution to the Indian election that has been increasing. The second one is the increasing shell companies, as you do not know which of the companies are basically contributing to them, because not all the companies are basically going to list out the various things that how much donation they are generally providing to the political party. So these are some of the things that are basically pertaining the electoral bonds. So you will read this on your own. The next one is the embracing cryptocurrency. So the next news is basically for the cryptocurrency. I hope you remember El Salvador have become the first country who have basically regularized cryptocurrency. But in India, the situation is again the prohibition to regulation, whether to prohibit or whether to regulate. These are the other things that we will be going over there. Now there are concerns with respect to the volatility and the physical backing, lack of physical backing, tax evasion, terrorist financing, and money laundering. Other than that, when we talk about in 2018, there have been outright ban that is suggested by the Reserve Bank of India on the cryptocurrency. Supreme Court have basically overturned, because in that the Supreme Court have maintained that there is no provision that has been providing basically the complete ban on this particular part. Now the draft of the cryptocurrency regulation of official digital currency is there, but it will criminalize all the private cryptos. We have to look for an alternative mechanism, because in UK it has been termed as a property you can trade and sell, and in Singapore the regulation is provided in a way or trade for legal currencies also there, and US there is text and it is regular traded among the people. So that has been the other case that is happening. The next one is the yesterday's case. There were lapses with respect to the protocol that has been occurring, and in that occurrence there have been a problem with regard to the seeking necessary clearances from the ministry, and the ministry have made it clear if any of the organization does the same, definitely they will have to rise up to the occasion and ask them to go with the things and the other plans and issues that are needed to be you can say followed, or clearances that are needed to be taken from the ministry. You cannot just go and collect any of the things that you basically want to. So I hope this is clear. The next one is Food Corporation of India uses rice to make ethanol production. Please remember there have been 78,000 tons which is sold for ethanol production for 20 rupees per kg up till 2025, and 15 crore liters has been the total capacity that will made out of it from the maize. Now within that there have been a contribution that is still minuscule with regard to the things and the other issues, but still there have been the official policy change from the molasses based ethanol production to the grain based ethanol production. So the government is on the verge of basically doubling the ethanol production by 2025 and increasing almost 20% of ethanol blending in the petroleum or in the petrol products by 2030, and so is the case in the case of diesel. It is close at about 10% of the total ethanol blending in the case of the diesel products. So that has been the case. The next news is related to inflation spurs spike in bond yield and rupee hits 1 month low. So I think inflation, again we have talked about it, so I will not go into that. So you can read this on your own. So I think that is it for today.